So we still don't know for sure from the province whether the first phase of easing restrictions will happen on Thursday or not. We know that that is the province's target date. If that does happen, it means that some medical services and some businesses will be able to reopen with new restrictions. In particular, the ones I think people are most interested in is that restaurants and bars will have the ability to reopen at 50% capacity for sit-down service only. We still don't know the answer to the question on whether you can actually meet people who are not in your cohort at the restaurant. My understanding of the rules right now is the physical distancing rules still apply, so no, you can go out to a restaurant with people in your cohort, but if you want to meet friends for a drink, you got to be 2 meters apart. You can't be sitting at the same table, and there is no bar service, so it has to be at the table. We're still searching for answers to some of those specific questions as we speak. We also understand that shopping centers will be able to open with some restrictions, but it's not yet clear what those restrictions are. Certain kinds of retailers, including furniture and clothing stores, will also be allowed to reopen again with different restrictions. So all of this is possible. And hair salons, that was the other big one. All of this is possible for Thursday. We do not yet have confirmation that that is true. In any case, I anticipate that many businesses will not choose to open as early as Thursday, and that's okay. As I've said to business owners before, if you find that you cannot operate within the restrictions and operate your business, you don't have to open. If you are concerned about the safety of your employees or your customers, you don't have to open. You can take the time you need in order to make sure you've got the masks and the gloves you're looking for, that you've got the new operating procedures, and that you are willing to be able to move forward. That is totally okay. Team here at the City of Calgary worked through the weekend to help develop industry-specific guidelines for different kinds of businesses, and I was pleased to see yesterday that the Alberta government did something similar and provided some of these guidelines as well. And those guidelines can be found at alberta.ca/bizconnect. That's biz with a Z, B-I-Z, connect. Yesterday, Council voted in temporary changes to make it much easier for restaurants, bars, cafes, and by the way, also retailers who want to have what we used to call in the day a sidewalk sale, to be able to expand outdoors. There's two reasons for that. One is there is some evidence that it is more difficult to transmit the virus outdoors than indoors. And number two is, particularly for restaurants that have to operate at half capacity, this is an easy way for us to increase their capacity so that they can serve more patrons. And so what we are going to do as the weather gets nicer is make it much easier for these businesses to get patios. They can, for example, if there's a storefront restaurant and then a sidewalk and then a boulevard, they might be able to put a patio on the boulevard. They might be able to take up parking spaces and convert those into a patio. And we're trying to make these things much easier to do. So if you are a business that wants to have a patio this summer as part of your opening plans, call our Planning and Development Department right away. You can call 311 or you can call 403-268-5311. 268-5311, and we would be very pleased to help you understand what you have to do. Our community planning team will triage the requests. They'll determine whether you just need temporary permission or you need a different kind of permit. If it's temporary permission on city-owned land, we're just waiving the fee. You can just do it. If it's on private property, you may need a development permit, but we should be able to defer the cost of that permit or the majority of the cost of that permit. This is in addition to what we did last week, providing direct financial relief for businesses through fee waivers, deferrals, flexibilities on permit timelines. I think these measures will help. And there's never been a more important time to support local businesses than right now, and this is a great opportunity for citizens to be able to do that.
The Calgary Community Standards Group went out and conducted 188 patrols over the parks and various areas this weekend. 66 warnings were issued, and only one ticket was issued. And so, Calgarians, you're getting way better. And thank you for improving. We know that we all do it for our own individual reasons, but you have done a good job, and you are continuing to drive down the numbers. But as His Worship the Mayor says, we need to continue those efforts. The responding officers always attempt to use discretion, education as tools. But when things have gone too far, a ticket was issued on the weekend, and my understanding it was just a single $1,200 ticket. The Calgary Community Standards Peace Officers, so I'll just call them peace officers from now on, patrolled all 10 skate parks to monitor for physical distancing and Public Health Act compliance. The weather played a good role in terms of reducing the numbers that were out. But I'm going to tell you that we are challenged with the skate parks, where spectators are gathering to join their friends and watch their friends do their favorite ollie or whatever. I'm not that guy, but and we're having challenges with respect to the numbers of people that are there. We'd like to remind all the visitors that both riders who are and people who are watching need to maintain the physical distancing and need to keep that 2 meters between themselves, and also ensure that they don't congregate in large crowds. So if you go to a skateboard park and it's quite busy, we're asking you to consider going to another site, maybe come back later, or maybe wait off to the side and take some turns. And sometimes some of you who are leaders in the community, in the skate park community, I'm sure you can sort of say, hey guys, we're all here, can we work out a turn? Well, 15 minutes on, 15 minutes, the other team will go. Park ambassadors are also out there visiting the skate parks to reinforce the physical distance measures for safer use. And with respect to the outbreak at Cascades, we are aware that there was an initial outbreak of 3 cases at Cascade, and that we were notified just before this session actually that another or a total of 13 cases is there now. Having chatted with the director of Waste and Recycling Services, they have been working with Cascade, and they understand that Cascade, as a private venture, has a comprehensive plan. There's about 100 people that work at that plant, and so 13 is a significant outbreak. We're appreciative of the work that they're doing to control that outbreak. We know that it has the potential to affect the Blue Cart program, and that could see a delay of a day or something like that. But at this point in time, the program is operating. They've done a deep clean of the facility, and they're doing all that work that would be required, and they're working closely with Alberta Health Services to ensure that there's not a problem. We've assessed this and found no risk to our staff who are dropping at the facility. We have a protocol for that. No risk to our staff who are dropping at the facility. There's no risk to the public of that outbreak going further. But of course, we're always concerned for our friends who we're in business with, who are contractors with us. We're always concerned for their well-being, and we'll offer them any support that they require in order to move forward.